everyone, it's Ellen. I'm here to finish up the chicken soup today. So it's been cooking for 2 hours uncovered. Just to add to the stock, I just add water to the stock as it goes along so that it doesn't just, boil down to reduce down to like a little bit. So that's what I do. During those 2 hours, I would, check it, and I would, give it a little stir, and then I would put more water in. So what I did was about 10 minutes ago, I took the chicken out and I put it aside. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to take the stock as it has just come off the stove, and I'm going to put it into a strainer. Usually I just use a strainer like this, a big mesh strainer, and I put it over a bowl, like a stainless bowl in the sink. So I put that in there, and I'm gonna just it's got plastic handles so I don't have to worry about burning myself. So I'm just gonna turn this off, and I'm gonna put this, I don't know if you can see it. I don't want to tip it too much, but you can see there's the stock in there. So I'm going to dump it into the strainer, into the bowl. All the good broth will just go right through the strainer, and it'll prevent all the vegetables from going into the broth. So I'm going to take the vegetables, and I throw them away. I mean, I don't know if you do want to do something with them, but I just throw them away. And so I'm just going to pour the broth right back into the, and be careful because the stainless bowl will be hot. So just be a little careful. So I'm just going to put it back into the pan. Okay, so it forms a nice, you can see the stock, the broth there, forms a nice broth. And then what I do is I take the chicken, it's in a colander. So I have the chicken here that's been cooling down a little bit. And then I have to pick through it. And so what I do too in the meantime is I put my water boiler on, and you can always put a little cold water over the chicken in the colander to cool it down so that when you're picking out the chicken, it's not going to be too hot. Okay, so I'm going to take my chicken, and I'm going to do it on my cutting board. I'm going to take my cutting board. Alright, and I'm just going to pick out the chicken from the bone. Like it's kind of like a little tricky sometimes with the chicken soup, because you don't want any of the chicken to the bone to get into the soup. But sometimes you don't want it to, but every once in a while you get a little bone. But I try my best to just pick the meat out and get rid of the bone. You have to kind of sort through it. So I'm going to do that. So here is, I think this was that part of the breast, so there's not really much to this. So then I can just use that same stainless bowl and toss the bones and the parts that I'm going to discard into it. So there's not really any meat on this. It all melted off. So I'm just going to put that in the bowl, the stainless bowl. So this is a thigh. There's going to be plenty of meat on this. So I'm going to get the meat off of that. I'm going to use a little paring knife, just a little knife like this to get the meat off. Yeah, this is really nice meat. This is the dark meat, the thigh meat. Just going to put the bones aside. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of picking through, trying to get rid of the cartilage and the bone. Yeah, there's like a little bit of cartilage in there. I want to get that out. Don't want to use that. There's a bone. Yeah, try really hard to get these bones out of there. You don't want those to get in your soup. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the chicken on a plate so I can pick through it again. So I'm just going to kind of doing the best I can here on the cutting board, but there's always a good idea to go through it again when you're about to put it into the broth instead of just putting it right into the broth. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm cutting it, and it kind of it can cube a little bit, and you got to take the skin off. Don't forget to take the skin off. It can kind of cube a little bit, but it's going to shred a lot, and that's okay. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so I'm going to put this on the plate before I put it into the soup. So I'm going to go through. It doesn't take too long. Here's a leg. So the leg has a lot of good meat, dark meat on it. So I'm just going to put the skin into the bowl. Some people like to eat the skin. I'm included in that. I don't mind eating the skin. So I like to eat the skin. So we're going to pull that cartilage right out of there. Got the bone out. Here's another bone right in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to cut that. Just go through that, cut it. More cartilage. Okay, so I'm going to put that on the plate. Okay, then there's another thigh. Another thigh. It's really good meat. I think this was left over from the chicken breast too, a little bit. No, that's dark meat, so that's not chicken breast. Okay, so that's going in the pot. So here is a bone, there's skin, more skin. Okay, so putting it up, putting it on the plate so I can go through it one more look over before I put it into the soup. Okay, so I'm going to put that over into the bowl, into the plate. And this is our last. This one is pretty, must have melted off. Yeah, this is pretty used up. That was a leg. So the leg, the meat is dark. It's delicious. Okay, so here we go. We're just cutting up the chicken, taking out the skin, taking out the cartilage and the bone. Okay, so I'm going to put that over here. And you get a nice amount of chicken from that roaster chicken that you already had 2 meals out of. You had the actual just eating the chicken breasts that I did last night, and then making the chicken salad, now the soup. So it goes, you can take a chicken into 3 different meals really, which is really good. It's really a good use of your chicken. And all 3 are delicious too. Okay, so just cutting it up. Again, just be careful of the bones. Take off the skin. Take off the fat. There's not really a lot of fat, it melts off. Okay. Here's a leg, or wing, There's not a lot of meat in that. There's some, a little bit of meat. Okay, so I'm going to cut that up. Got it in the pile for good stuff. All right. Okay, so this is all the, this is good. So this is all the cartilage and the bone and the skin. So I'm going to put that aside. And I'm going to take my plate with the chicken that I'm going to put in the soup, and I'm just going to go through it again just to look for any fine bones. Like sometimes there's those little bones that just kind of sneak in there. So I don't want those to go in, but I'll try my best not to get them in there. Let me see if there's any bone. I think I got most of it though. That was cartilage. I don't need that. Okay. Okay. I think that's my alarm clock. Okay, let me turn that off. Okay, so sorry about that. All right, so it looks pretty good. It looks good. So I'm gonna put the chicken into the broth. I'm gonna put it right in there. And then my husband would probably not be happy with me, but I do put a little bouillon in there, little flavoring. So let me see if I even have any. Yeah, I'm just gonna use some. Flavoring that. Oops. That I'm gonna put in a cup measure. I'm gonna put that into the soup. This happens to be sazon. So normally I would put chicken broth in, but I don't have any. I'm just gonna put a little sazon in there. It's gonna put a little kick to it, a little flavor. Like if you have chicken broth, that's great. That makes sense to use that. I just don't. So I'm gonna use the sazon. Hopefully it'll be tasty. Okay. And then what I use is the Pennsylvania Dutch fine noodles. So if you have the store brand, that's fine, but try to get the fine ones and the little ones. So I take the broth. Just move this out of the way. Just gonna taste it a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna mix it up. Give it a little stir. I'm gonna taste it. Okay, that's good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the noodles, I'm going to put half the bag right in there. Okay, so that's, this is a pound bag, I believe, so I'm putting half of it. So it's a, yeah, so it's a half a bag. So I just put that into the broth. And then I put it back on the stove. And I let it cook for another, I don't know, to get the noodles cooked through. I'm sure it'll take, with the water already hot, the broth already hot, it'll take maybe about 10 minutes. So I'll put the timer on for 10 minutes. And I have it on. So the noodles should cook right up, and then there you have it. So that's in, so I'll just show you. It's on the stove over there, right there. So you can put, if you want to put carrots at this point, or celery, or any other vegetable with the noodles and the chicken, you can do that. I don't. I just use the chicken and the noodles, and then the stock has the flavor of the carrots and the celery and the onion and the garlic, so I don't add any more after. So that's all. As soon as it's done, I'll taste it, and I'll put a picture online of it, and that's it. That's chicken noodle soup. And just another a side note, using the broth, the chicken broth, the bouillon is better than the sazon, but I only had sazon, so that's why I used it. But you can use the chicken broth. All right, thanks. It was good to see everyone. Bye.